Hello guys, this is Brandon Galbraith here with my first in this series of instructional videos using technology in the classroom. And today I'm going to be showcasing BrainPop. It's something that I use on pretty much a weekly basis. And the cool thing about BrainPop is that whether you teach like my topic, social studies, or your ELA or math or science or something within that realm that can be used within your classrooms. Before we actually dive into it though, BrainPop is not a free program, although there are some trials that you can sign up for. You have two options. You can either sign up for a classroom subscription, and that runs you about $170 for the whole year. The thing is, you only have access to 3 computers with that license, or you can get a school-wide license, which is a little bit more pricey. You're looking at about $1,700, but you create access to all your teachers. It doesn't matter the grade or the content area. So it's an awesome tool. It's video based with activities that are associated with those videos that are appropriate for any grade level, depending on how you want to use it. And if you're elementary, you actually have BrainPop Junior, which my wife, who teaches elementary school, has access to, and it's an awesome tool for them as well. Now, because I teach 7th grade social studies, we're going to dive into that. And when you look at the actual organization of it, it's pretty straightforward. It gives you general areas to look at, and since I'm world history, let's dive into world history. And then it'll give you specific things. So it's either characters, events, or even places in some cases. So we are going to dive into one just so I can show you what this would look like. Right now in my classroom, we're getting into exploration, and more specifically next week we're going to be talking about the Columbian Exchange. So this is actually a video that I will be using next week. So you click on it, and the first thing that you actually get is the video. Now this animation that you see is what the entire video is, kind of how it's laid out. You won't see real life pictures or people in it. It's all done through animation. And one of the cool characters that are always featured is Tim and Moby, and they are awesome. They're straightforward. They use appropriate vocabulary. This is one of those things where I feel like I could pick any video and I'm not going to be worried about, okay, what's going to be on here, because it's geared for this age group. So each movie is about 5 to 7 minutes long, and you always, as a teacher, will have activities that you can showcase with them. One of the things that I always do, and we'll just jump right into it, are the assessments afterwards. Each assessment is actually 10 multiple choice questions, and there's a couple ways that I use it within my classroom. A lot of times we'll either do classic mode or review mode on my smart TV. And so I'll usually have one student leading it, and they'll read the question and ask their peers which one they think the answer is. And there's 2 ways they can do that. Classic mode, so if they hit A, it'll record A, whether it's right or wrong, and it'll move on to the next question. And at the end they get to see how many they got right out of 10. Or you could do review mode, which if you hit A and it's incorrect, then it'll say nope, and they have to pick a different answer. Now for kicks, just to keep them on their toes, sometimes I actually do the printed quiz, and I'll actually have those made ahead of time. But if we look at the printed quiz, you kind of get a general feel of what they look like. So there'll always be 10 questions. Some of them are directly linked to what they said. Others are inference questions, really difficult for some students, or vocabulary questions using synonyms or antonyms. But I like how they usually have some visuals in there as well. So that's one of the cool things that BrainPop can provide you off the bat, are the assessments afterwards. So if we go back to the movie itself, you would see that you have some other things that you can use with it. For instance, with this one in particular, you have game up challenges. So you can go through it, and there's games associated with it that you have to answer them correctly in order to make Tim and Moby progress to the next one, which is a really cool feature that they just added this year. And so it's something that I'm still kind of playing around with. But if we go back to the movie, you also see that it has FYIs, which are really cool because it allows you to take the Columbian Exchange and give them some more information. So if they're really interested about something, they can look at how the Columbian Exchange later impacts the life of people, which is really cool. If we go to the movie itself, it always starts off with Tim and Moby kind of exploring something, and then they always get a letter from a random viewer, and then they are able to actually explore them. And one of the things my students noticed off the bat was that this shirt is always reflective of whatever they're talking about at the time. So this clip, for instance, it's using the Columbian Exchange in a more futuristic type of way, where you have the alien interacting with them for the first time and vice versa. So it's in a sense a Columbian Exchange. Now, as BrainPop itself has been progressing, I've also seen that they've added quite a few features that I can now use myself. I like the competition mode, so it actually challenges them, and then you can provide them the scores to other classes. So they're kind of like pitting one class against another, and that competition actually drives them, I found, to do really well. But BrainPop, awesome tool. Tons of information that you can go to. Like I said, just for social studies alone, whether you're teaching U.S. history or world history, or you just want to look up some historical figures, awesome. And then, like I said at the very beginning, if you look at BrainPop, it's expanding so much more now, reaching out to different types of learners. The ESL one is cool, and they also have one for just Spanish speaker or French speaking students, which is really cool as well. But just briefly going through, so you have science, and you have everything from cells to the environment to motions and forces. I mean, it's just an awesome tool. I highly recommend that if you don't have it as a school, that one, you just try the trial. That way you can get a glimpse and see if it's worth it, and then maybe one of your teammates also tries a trial. That way you can have more access to it for free. And then once those trials run out, by all means, push it to whoever you need to, because if you truly invest in this and you truly invest some time into exploring it, I believe that you would find that BrainPop itself is an awesome tool just to supplement whatever you're doing already in class. Once again, my name is Brandon Galbraith. Have a great evening.